Before I get into the main point of this video, I just want to say this quick disclaimer. I absolutely adore Pressure. I think this is one of the most engaging, polished, and passionate Roblox horror games I've ever played. Hell, one of the best horror games in general. That being said, I want the game to succeed. I get excited for new developments and what the team behind it have in store for the future. So, is it very surprising to hear me say that I was kind of disappointed with the Raveyard update?
Oh my god, bro. Hell no, man.
Wait! Hear me out on this one. What I want to go over in this video is the good and the bad of this update. So I'll first start with the good. I think having a more laid back and casual expedition as a fun piece of side content is a good idea on the surface. I'll come back to this later. Next thing, while some people might not enjoy it, I like that the gummy light is the only item used in the expedition, upgraded to the exclusive grave light. Sure, it's annoying to use, but it compensates by having far better visibility than the regular gummy light, and it allows people who have never unlocked it previously to try it out. I also love the designs of the new monsters. They're very simple but visually striking, and they perfectly fit the setting. Speaking of the setting, god damn! Does this area have one hell of a personality. The concept of taking a graveyard and turning it into a rave for reanimated skeletons is really cool, and the sheer scale is impressive, evident by the main set piece of the central rave hosted by the massive DJ Skeletoons. Of course, this type of setting needs music, and it absolutely delivers. The soundtrack is bangin'. One final thing is that I like the inclusion of the Spectrum bartender as a stand-in for Sebastian's shop for this expedition. Has that sense of familiarity while being appropriate for this environment. Unfortunately, with the glazing out of the way, it's time now to talk about the bad. Now, remember when I said that this casual experience sounds good on paper? It ultimately leaves me unsatisfied. Now, I didn't want to compare the main expedition to this one, but I'll only do it this one time. And maybe more. The drastic shift of difficulty is incredibly jarring. After having endured the difficult and tricky gameplay loop of the normal expedition, this new one is just way too easy. I get it, it's meant to be more casual friendly, but let's be honest. The casuals aren't going to be satisfied just because they completed a piece of side content that caters to them for the sole reason that the main, more enticing expedition is right there. Well, unless they're like 9 years old or something. Moving on, the Raveyard was borderline unfinished because the developers set a deadline for themselves so that it would be released before the Haunt event. There were some weird bugs like solo expeditions not working for a while, and the bouncers pathfinding just straight up being baffling most of the times. The former was fixed, but I cannot say the same for the bouncer, he's still a mess. Besides the room generation, there aren't many random elements in this update that are at play, and it's very off-putting whenever you've played a lot of the main expedition, as that relies on RNG to keep you on your toes. Like, imagine if there were still lockers around and the angler could spawn in the Raveyard. That simple change can really elevate the tension and not have every Raveyard run feel the exact same. On launch, I swear, the Skelopede was borderline unfair to deal with whenever you didn't have any platforms to stall on. Hell, in my first playthrough, I'm pretty sure I only took damage from the Skelopede, because I didn't even know that you could stand on platforms to get him to go away. The document says you can maneuver around it just by walking past its head, forcing it to slowly move around, but that is a blatant lie. At least on launch. Now, I didn't record any footage on release day, but I swear, I tried maneuvering, but its head was just locked on and it would guarantee that I got chomped because I was constantly like 1 foot away from it. Thankfully, they patched this and now you can actually avoid it fairly well if you circle its head, so it'll have to slowly rotate. But god damn it, it was annoying on launch day. Let's see here, some smaller things that I noticed. I find it weird how the game advises you on crouching, yet you aren't required to do so at any point of the expedition. I don't like how HQ's subtitles get cut off every time you finish the first bouncer chase. I don't like how the second bouncer chase is just the same as the first, but with 2 bouncers at play now, with a set path to the church every time. I don't like how looting coffins has the lid turn into a physics-based object. Thus, standing in the place where it comes off can just have it nudge slightly, not being able to properly look inside to grab the trash that could be inside. And last thing, even though seeing DJ Skeletons climb up the church while you're running for the switch is awesome, the magic wears off once you stop moving. He just stays there completely still and will not move until you trigger the cutscene. There is no consequence for you waiting around and doing nothing on the stairs. Not even the bouncers stop you because they get stopped at the bottom of the stairs. I'm sure with more time they would have thought about this and potentially have a death scene of DJ Skeletons grabbing you if you took too long, but as of now it's very awkward. One minor nitpick I have is that after we stop the rave, it just ends. The game ends and we're pardoned. No sequence where we walk back to the docks to leave and hop on the helicopter that is said in the subtitles. Some people might appreciate that, but I personally don't. But it's not a big deal. I know a lot of my complaints were minor things and some technical things were fixed, but that just goes to show that this experience was half-baked and not thoroughly tested. Even the lead developer himself said to wait until they fixed and tweaked things, and honestly, even if everything I complained about got better and all the bugs were fixed and the experience was polished, I still probably wouldn't be satisfied playing through it. Now, I don't want to dog on the developers, no shade towards them. They did a very great job with the 40 days of development time they had, and it's a great experience. Just not a great experience for pressure. In a vacuum, I think this experience would be fine. This whole expedition would be fine as a whole separate game. But the fact that it's connected to this absolutely groundbreaking experience that is pressure, it just leaves me feeling like it's out of place. I don't see myself playing this expedition more, maybe with friends, but hey, that's just one less player out of thousands that are absolutely loving it, and I'm happy that they are. I don't hate the Raveyard, but I don't love it either, at least in the state that it's in right now. Who knows, maybe the devs will completely flip it on its head and make it really great. But for now, it just isn't for me. Well, those are my thoughts. I just couldn't shake these feelings off, so I just had to make this video screaming into the void. But hey, if you think I'm wrong and I'm just complaining about nothing, feel free to let me know in the comments. Hell, I encourage you to tell me I'm wrong. I'm open to discussion. And again, if you're having fun with the Raveyard update and you think there's nothing wrong with it, I'm happy for you. I feel kind of weird that this is my first video covering pressure, and it's pretty negative, but I've been meaning to cover this game and make a lore/deep dive for a while. It won't be for months, but when I do, it's gonna be a good one. But anyways, that's about all I wanted to say. Thank you all for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.